Hello crafty friends, welcome to today's card making video. Today I'm going to use these dies to make a card, and I'm also going to show you a new little invention of mine. The first thing I've done in preparation for this is to die cut some white cardstock with the dies. And now I'm inking them up with some sticky embossing ink because I'm going to heat emboss them. For my embossing, I'm going to use, first off, this DIY embossing powder. It's made with clear embossing powder and crushed velvet luscious powder. So it's a kind of translucent purple with some sparkle in it. I'm going to tip a little bit on and then shake that off. I want to add some teal embossing powder, but I've run out of my homemade teal embossing powder, so I'm going to make some more. I'm going to scoop up some clear and pop it in there. And then I'm going to add some teal, luscious powder, probably far too much, but never mind. I'm just going to take my tweezers and give that a bit of a stir. I will give it a shake as well once I put the lid on. I'll just give that a good shake now. I do have a whole series of videos about pigment powders. It's called Pigment Powders 101, and I'll leave a link to that in the video description if you'd like to watch that. There's lots of ideas on ways to get the most out of your pigment powders. So we'll pop these back on here and we'll give that a shake all over. And now I'm going to heat these one at a time with my heat tool. So they're all cooled and set now, but I want to add another layer of gloss over the top to give them a bit more shine and a bit more dimension. So another way of adding embossing ink to your die cuts is to use something like this, which is the Ranger embossing dauber. And that's got a little, like a bingo dauber on the top, and you can just splodge it. You could brayer it on, you could press it down into the ink pad again. You could brush it on if you've got a brush. Hang on, let's get the thingy out. So I've got a little nail polish bottle here full of, it's actually glycerin, which is basically embossing ink. So if you wanted, you could brush that on like that. So there's lots of ways of adding embossing ink, but that's not what this video is supposed to be about. So we'll go back to the original plan. And all I'm going to do with these is dip these into my clear embossing powder and then heat them with my heat tool. And I'll come back to you after I've done that. Those have cooled and set again. And I've got a stitched rectangle panel of smooth white card. Thinking of having these coming in like this from the corners. Not sure if I want all of them. These two, the first two I put down, are mirror images of each other, I think. Whereas these two are a bit different. I think the dies are from Creative Expressions given their colour, but I don't know anything else about them. So I quite like that, but I'm wondering about having a little bit of splatter in the background, maybe in a pale gold. So just a little bit up here. Peek around my foliage and a bit down here. I'll just gently dab up the ones in the middle. I'll give that a bit of a dry. Right, now we come on to the invention part. If you've been around my channel for any length of time, you'll have seen me add die cuts with glue like this, just putting down some glue on my mat, dipping them in, picking them up, placing them down like that. You've probably also seen me use this sponge dauber, which is now mainly glue, and pick up some glue with it and sponge it on the back as another way of adding fiddly die cuts. I'll just press that down with a bit of non-stick paper, and those should be nicely stuck now. But now I've got another way of adding glue, and it's using this. So I'm going to just tap this little silicone glue applicator into my glue like this, and then I can dab this on the back, and it puts tiny little dots of glue on the back Stick that down and do the same thing again. Just load it up with a bit of glue so it's got some glue on the underside. If you think it's too much, you can tap it off, and then just add it by dabbing it over the back. And this can literally just be wiped to get the glue off it. It's silicone, these little bits of silicone, so they're pretty non-stick. But how did I make this? Well, I bought some silicone basting brushes because I thought maybe you could pick that up and brush your glue onto a die cut. That would work. So that would definitely work. You could brush glue onto a die cut like that. But I really just wanted something that I could daub, a bit like my sponge dauber, just create some tiny little glue dots. So all I did was I chopped the brushes off level with each other. That one's a bit sticky out, but we can sort that out. And if you do it close enough to this bit, the ferrule of the brush, then they're quite sort of stiff and they stay in that regular pattern, and you can pick up your glue and just make tiny little glue dots on whatever you want to stick down. So that's all nice and sticky now. And I got a pack of 3 of these brushes from Amazon. I will put the price down here. It wasn't very much, but you could probably pick up something like that from your local superstore, your local food market, and create your own little glue dauber. So literally just another way of adding glue to fiddly die cuts. I've put my panel on a card blank now, and I'm going to dust it with corn flour because I want to heat emboss in gold. My sentiment right in the middle there. And there you go, a little note card made with die cutting, heat embossing, a little stamping, a little splattering, and my new glue dauber thing. I hope you've enjoyed today's video and it's given you some ideas of things you can do in your own card making. If it has, please let me know in the comments, leave a thumbs up, subscribe, ring that notification bell, and I'll see you back here tomorrow for another video. Thanks for watching. Bye for now.